So the Bledisloe Cup is just around the corner. So once again, myself and Rugbyitch, we are going to be trying our absolute best to predict who is going to be in that All Black starting lineup. Now, you may notice my background has stayed the same. Rugbyitch is not so much. Where are you currently, mate? And what is happening with yourself?
Well, I'm currently back in London. For now, I'm actually in a coffee shop doing this. So obviously, if you hear any background noise, sorry for that, but just to deal with what we had here. So yeah, just if there's any background noise, sorry guys for that. But I will try to obviously make sure you guys can hear me throughout this prediction.
So with a very tight schedule of a Rugbyitch, we had to try and squeeze this in somewhere. You will hear the microphone quality may not be the best at times. We will try our best to make sure that it is still, I guess, hearable. I guess.
Exactly.
So we'll make it pleasant on the eardrums. But we will jump straight into it, mate. All Blacks front row. Who have you got as your 1, 2, and your 3?
Yeah. So for this game, I've only made one change to the front row from what they normally have come up with in the last few games. I've gone with Ethan de Groot at number 1, so I've stuck by him. For number 2, I've gone with Samisoni Takalaho. But for number 3, I've actually put Opa Tungafasi in to start. So it is a bold call, but I think it may happen.
Okay, so I have got a very similar front row to yourself, other than that tight head prop. For myself, I've got Ethan de Groot number 1, Samisoni Takiaho as the number 2. At the moment, he is just levels above the rest of the New Zealand hookers in the AB squad. And then number 3, I did stick with Tyrell Lomax. I feel like after that last game, they showed that they had that bit of chemistry in the front row. They were working well together, so I may have Ofa Tungafasi showing up somewhere else, but for now, I decided I would stick with that same front row. Now we move on to the locks, and I've actually stuck with what they went with for the last match up against Argentina as well. I have got Sam Whitelock number 4. They are persisting with that. Still a little bit confusing. I thought he was a 5, but he has switched to that number 4 more recently. And then number 6, that's a like. And then number 5, I have gone with Scott Barrett.
Yeah, no, same as you. I've gone with the exact same pairing. Whitelock number 4 as well as Barrett at number 5. Didn't want to switch that, like you said, with Whitelock, but yeah, hopefully they go with that once more.
So now we move on to the loose forward trio. Now we know that Artie Savia, he is awaiting the birth of his child, so congratulations to him. Who have you got at number 8? Luke Jacobson added back into the squad. Hoskins Tutu also about. Or do they throw a spanner in the works and put like a Kiri Ioane there just to confuse everyone?
Yeah, no. So for myself, I've actually gone with the Kiri Ioane here to start at number 6. So I'm kind of pushing him to kind of get back into that starting contention once again. For number 7, I've gone with Sam Kim, of course, to continue on the number 7 spot. And for number 8, I have gone with Hoskins Tutu here, guys. So a bit of a blues, I guess, theme there. Maybe a bit of bias in that sense, but I want to see Hoskins Tutu give him some minutes throughout this Rugby Championship, and I feel he's the one who deserves the most. So that's the reason why I've gone for him.
You heard it here first from Pixelated Rugbyitch. Now we look through at my loose forward trio. I have gone with Shannon Frizzell at number 6. I decided to keep him in that starting lineup. Number 7, I've stuck with Sam Cane. I believe it was the first game in a long time, that second test match up against the Pumas, that I didn't hear anyone saying anything bad about Sam Cane's performance. He actually got a standing ovation from the FMG Stadium crowd. Yeah. Played very well. And then number 8, because of no Artie Savia, it opens up the door for an opportunity. And I feel like that opportunity had to come at some stage. Hoskins Tutu as my number 8. I wouldn't be surprised if they went Jacobson, though, seeing as he has been playing in the Bunnings EPC, doing very nicely for himself in that competition. But I've gone Hoskins Tutu as my number 8. Now we move on to the backline. Number 9, I've stuck with Aaron Smith. That seems to be what the All Blacks have been doing throughout the whole Rugby Championship. So I decided that I didn't want to change it for the Bledisloe Cup. And then at number 10, I have made a change. I know that they like switching between Richie and Bowden. Richie had a very good last game, but I think just the system that they've had in the past, they're probably due to put Bowden in the starting lineup, Richie off the bench. So it's not necessarily what I would do, but I believe that's what the All Blacks will do for the Bledisloe Cup. Who have you got as your 9-10?
Yes, for myself, for number 9, I have gone with Aaron Smith once again. I think you have to go with someone with a lot of experience for the 9 position, so that's the reason why I've gone with him in that set. And for number 10, I've gone with Bowden Barrett, which may come as a shock, but I feel like he's kind of a perfect player, really, when he faces the Wallabies. I mean, to be honest, Richie Mo'unga has also played brilliant games against the Wallabies in the past as well. But I just want to see kind of a switch once more. And I mean, I'm not sure they'll do it, but I'm counting on it. So we'll see what happens or not.
Okay, so we have both made that change. Put the Bowden back in the lineup and maybe one of three Barretts in the starting lineup for the Bledisloe Cup. Although
Indeed.
the thing is, with Barretts and Bledisloe, normally another word that comes to mind is a red for the card scenario. Maybe it's Bowden's turn to get himself that red card for the Bledisloe Cup. And now looking through
Yeah.
at the centres, it is going to be for myself. In fact, it's not my turn, so I'm going to throw it back over to you. Who have you got as your centres?
For my 12 and 13 combo, I wanted to go with Havili here, but I've gone with a bit of a switch, and this could be the wrong decision because Havili was actually brilliant in that game against the Pumas. But I've actually gone with Quinta Paya here at number 12. Just another player similar to Tutu. I want to see give him more minutes throughout this Rugby Championship. So I feel like, yeah, it's a good opportunity for him to get some minutes on the board. And then, yeah, number 13, I have stuck with Rekolani, guys. He's arguably been the All Blacks' best player throughout this Rugby Championship. So I have to go with Reko in that position.
Alrighty, so I have gone with a little bit of a change compared to yourself. I've stuck with what they went with in that last match. David Havili, number 12. But the thing is, now that I think about it, the reason Havili, I think, has been going so well is because he's been partnered with Richie Mo'unga. So the fact that I've taken Richie Mo'unga, it doesn't make much sense to leave David Havili
That's why I did it
here in the midfield. But they took out Roger Tuivasa-Sheck from the squad, didn't they? They left him in New Zealand, tearing it up in the Bunnings NPC. So, yeah, Havili at number 12 for myself. And then the reason I mention Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is because I've got his Blues teammate as the number 13, and that is Rieko Ioane. But now we look through at the back three. Number 11, Caleb Clark for myself. Number 14, still not what I would do, but it's what they do anyway. It's Will Jordan out on that right wing. And then number 15, I have gone with Geordie Barrow. I don't see them making too many changes in this department, other than maybe I'd love to see Leicester Fainaanuku get another crack in the AB's kit. And then also the only other change I really see happening is maybe Sevu Reece 14, but that would require Will Jordan to switch to fullback, and I just don't see them doing it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there. Yeah, I've gone with the exact same back three as you, which is a surprise actually, because normally I act with Will Jordan at, I kind of go from a 15, because that's what I personally want. But like yourself, I had gone with Clark number 11, Jordan number 14, and Geordie Barrett at number 15. But I wouldn't be surprised though if they may try out Sevu Reece at 11 spots. You never know, because they like to try him out in that position, or even Leicester, of course, because you haven't actually seen much of him within this Rugby Championship. So maybe he gets to go. But yeah, like yourself, I went with the same back three.
Okay, so now we move on to the benches, a place where we could see some returns, we could see some changes in the All Blacks compared to what they had for the second test up against the Pumas. 16, 17, and 18, your front row replacements. Who have you got there as those three players?
Yeah, so for my bench, of course, when I'm looking at the hooker, I have gone the likes of Cody Taylor here to be the first one, of course, off the bench. He hasn't had much game time, but I just feel like he needs to get back on his feet. So that's the reason why I've gone with him. For the next position, I had gone the likes of. Have I stuck? Ooh, do I stick with him? I mean, do I make a change? No, I'm gonna stick with him. George Bauer. I got to go George Bauer. And yeah, with this position, of course, the last one, I have actually gone with Nepalalala here. As of course, Angus Talbot is not available, so I actually have gone with Nepalalala to come off the bench.
So you're not going with the All Crusaders bench replacement for the front row, getting rid of Fletcher Null.
I know. I wanted to try out Nepo. I want to see him kind of back in the squad. That's actually not even me being biased towards my Blues, because Fletcher Mule has been brilliant, by the way, since he's kind of been introduced into this All Black setup. But I just want to see some fresh faces, that's all. That's the only reason why I've gone with Nepalala ahead of him.
Okay, so my front row replacements, I have gone Dane Coles as my number 16, giving him another crack for the replacement hooker. Number 17, like yourself, I have got George Bauer. And then number 18, I mentioned him a bit earlier on. You have actually got him in your starting lineup. I did go with Ofa Tuangafasi as my number 18 replacement. So I feel bad to take out Fletcher Null, but those other two guys now returning from injury. Initially, he was just brought in as that injury cover, but he has been pretty lucky to be able to stay with the squad. He'll learn a lot from being such a young player in that environment, and I look forward seeing what he can do in the future. Now looking through at the 19 and 20 for me, I've got Brodie Retallick as my number 19, my replacement lock. And then number 20, I have gone with Dalton Papali'i. I felt he had a decent impact off the bench in the last game. He didn't get a lot of time because of how well Sam Cane played, but maybe that's a little bit of the key. Make Sam Cane think. If he doesn't play well, he's going off the field because they've got Dalton Papali'i as the option off the bench. So I think that's one of the reasons, only a very small one, but one of the reasons that Sam Cane did have such a blinder at FMG Stadium.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That's the pressure of Dalton Papali'i, like, on the bench. And, Sam Cane kind of now, he knows that, obviously with the criticism that, the media has obviously been within New Zealand, and even outside of that, he definitely knows himself that, if you don't perform to the standards consistently, then, Papali'i is just, waiting on the side to obviously get in. So, totally agree with you there. But, with my, obviously, replacements there in that section, I have actually gone with the likes of Retallick as well. I wanted to go with Tupa Bala here because I like more of a young kind of lock in that position. But, I had to go with experience, of course, in the Bledisloe Cup. But, similar to you, I've gone with Dalton Papali'i as well. Just had to. I mean, I could have gone with Luke Jacobs because he actually covers all positions. And to be perfectly honest, it's probably a smarter move to do it. But I want to see Dalton play. So that's the only reason why I put him in ahead of Luke Jacobson.
If I'm getting that correctly, that sounded like a little bit of Blues bias, was it?
That was definitely Blues bias there. That was, I will definitely admit to that one. That is definitely a Blues bias, that one.
Speaking of Blues, you've got maybe the option of a number 21 wearing that Blues kit throughout the regular Super Rugby season. Who have you got as your back replacements here? How many Blues? Just the one?
To be honest, I haven't actually gone with any Blues within this area. Surprisingly. Exactly. Yeah, very surprisingly. So I've actually gone with like the Slough Fakatava as a replacement scrum half. I thought maybe give him some minutes because we haven't actually seen him. And we've seen, Finley Christie a lot coming off the bench within a lot of these games. So I feel like I want to kind of see more Slough Fakatava, I'd say, within these last two games against the Wallabies. That's the reason why I've gone with him off the bench. The replacement set, of course, I had to go with Rich Mo'unga. I mean, there's no doubt really in that one because I've gone with Barrett, of course, to start. And with my last one, I was originally thinking of RTS because I wanted to put him in here, but of course he's not available. So I have gone more of a kind of a weird one here, but I've gone with Stephen Perifetta because again, I just want to see him have some minutes. And that's not a Blues bias one. That's just more me just wanting him to play because he's like 90 seconds, I think, in his debut. It's crazy to think that, but so I just want to see him get more minutes. That's all.
Okay, so my back replacements, I have got Finley Christie as my number 21. Number 22, I have given it to Richie Mo'unga as my fly half replacement for Beauden Barrett later on in the game. And then at number 23, another man who we haven't seen too much of recently, I have gone Sevu Reece. I did see him playing for Tasman, who was actually playing fullback for Tasman last week, which was an interesting choice. So maybe he's going for Geordie Barrett's spot as well. And he could be like Will Jordan and just never get it. But nonetheless, I guess that is going to be the end of this Bledisloe Cup prediction of the All Black squad. I believe they are going to be announced a little bit earlier than normal, about the Tuesday, I believe, is when the All Blacks will be announcing it. But I do thank you very much for coming on the channel once again, mate. Even though you are in a coffee shop, looks like a windy day in London. Behind you, is it going to rain, do you think?
Yeah, it's a bit of a windy day, but knowing London, it's probably raining without me knowing. But always happy to be on the channel, guys. And obviously, if you guys can, obviously come to my channel, as I will be doing a lot more content when I get back to Manchester as well. So do look forward to that.
And he is not normally in a coffee shop. There you go.
No. Exactly.
But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you all for the next one.